waking up at White Rocks Campground, just a mile west or so of Hancock. You can hear a train in the background. Pretty close to the remaining railroad track, and of course the Western Maryland Rail Trail is here. Got in a bit late last night and found a place to park in Hancock. Hopefully it's alright to park there overnight. And then I rode in a little bit and then had to switch over to the C&O Canal to walk the last little bit, because the two don't connect all that often. So anyway, set up camp around 10 o'clock, 10:30 or so. I was probably asleep by 11. Well, in my hammock at 11. I don't think I slept very well. But it was comfortable, and it's a cool morning. I'm about to make some coffee. I'll show you my setup in a minute. Hammock setup right towards the back of the campground here at White Rocks. It's a pretty big site. You could put quite a few tents here. And there's the C&O Canal right there. There's the toilet and a hand pump. They put iodine in the water. You can definitely tell. I just put some water in my alcohol stove over there. It's starting to heat up. A little fire pit, picnic table, and then my hammock. I didn't put the bug net up, and that turned out to be fine. And I was warm enough. I don't know, probably got a little bit below 50 last night, in the 40s somewhere. If the underquilt shifted a little, you could definitely feel it on your back. But I was warm, pretty comfortable. Didn't sleep great. I never really sleep great, at least the first night outdoors. You can see my longboard. I went with the LDP setup and my little backpack, which is just totally stuffed to the brim. Packed up and ready to hit the rail trail. You can see everything in my backpack here. It's pretty light. I didn't weigh it before I came. I think I'll weigh it when I get back. That's 2 nights of supplies and food in my hammock and clothing to stay warm. I'll probably hit the trail going east, go back to Hancock, and go all the way to the eastern end of the trail, and then maybe check out Fort Frederick, and then head back west, see how far I get. It's a beautiful morning. You see a blue jay over there. I'm on the C&O Canal heading west from White Rocks Campground, heading back towards Hancock. A lot of birds out this morning. Beautiful day. Looks like it's going to be sunny, clear. Man, perfect temperature. Great day to try to tackle this trail. There's a lot of leaves on the trail. I'll show you when I get there. I hope it's not too treacherous. It rained a little last night, which I wasn't expecting. And if the leaves are wet and there are enough of them, it's going to be kind of dicey trying to pump on the trail. Anyway, I'll check back in later. I made it back to the rail trail. I had to scramble up a little hill. I'm sure that's not the right way, but the way it came down last night is up at this stop sign there. There's a road crossing, but it looks like a private road. And it really is just someone's driveway, which I felt bad about. So anyway, I've made it back. I'm gonna start hitting it. Checking later. See the leaves on the trail. It's not too bad, but this section's actually better than the one I came through that I remember last night. I'm about 6.5 miles in from the campsite. I think I'm about halfway from Hancock to the eastern end of the trail. Still a crisp morning. Lots of debris on the trail, but it's really better than I expected. There are some roots that pop up periodically, but certainly nothing worse than what I've seen other places. And it's not so bad that I'm a little nervous about pumping. Trying to get into a slow rhythm, going about 7 to 9 miles an hour or so. I'm going to check out that sign. I've made it to Little Pool so far. Here's one of the access points to get between the Western Maryland Rail Trail and the C&O Canal Towpath. There are a few of these periodically, and I'm about halfway to the end of the trail from my campsite. I'll check in later. All right, back on the trail. You can see the trees behind me. Making good time, feeling good. I think I'm gonna run out of steam by noon, but let's see how far I can get before then. So this stretch, we're probably about 3 miles from the end of the rail trail, the eastern terminus. And actually the pavement's in pretty good shape here. The downside is you're right by Route 70. So lots of road noise, lots of exposure, but of course it's not very warm today, which is nice. And there's less debris on the trail because the trees aren't as grown. I'm starting to feel a bit tired already, and I'm only 10 miles in. So might have to take a break, probably at the end of the trail, and if I can make it to Fort Frederick, that would be a nice place to stop. I'm about a mile from the end, and I think I picked about the prettiest day of the world to do this. Here's another crossover for the C&O Canal. I can't get over this trail. It's gorgeous. Pancake flat. It's actually in really good condition, even with the leaves. So I'll check in later. Destination Fort Frederick. Fort Frederick State Park. Man, this road is about the nicest road to skateboard on I can imagine. Nice little downhill. Whee! This place is awesome. I'll try to get a view of the mountains in a little bit. Fort Frederick. Ended up on it. I ordered up the perfect day. So I'm heading back from east to west. I'm a couple miles in from the terminus on the eastern edge and headed towards Hancock. I may stop at Little Pool or oh, I'm already forgetting the name of it. One of the C&O campgrounds along the way, just to check it out if it's not too far off the trail. I started taking this mile marker road down to try to get towards Licking Creek campsite, but it looked too far, and this road is terrible. I couldn't really ride on it, so I'm gonna save that little outing for another day. Almost 20 miles in today. I'm walking because I took this little side road trying to get to Licking Creek campsite just to check it out, but it just was too far. The road's terrible. So it's actually nice to walk, mix it up a little bit. I'll get back on the rail trail and head back to Hancock and then figure out if I want to get more food for today or just go on to the campsite for the night. I'm now heading west out of Hancock, a little past mile marker 12, and I hadn't gone this far last night, plus I couldn't really see anything in the dark. But it's beautiful out here. I think it gets a little more remote past Hancock. I'm kind of tired. I'm not pumping much anymore, and this board stinks to push. But I got about 10 miles to go. Looking forward to making camp. Not sure you can see, but we've got a little elevation above the C&O Canal here. And the towpath is down the hill there. You can see the old electric line that went with the railroad. It's definitely a little more hilly out here. Mile 15. How straight the line is. But this goes on and on, sometimes a couple miles at a time with no turn whatsoever. Pretty amazing. So probably about 5 miles from the end. I was hoping to camp earlier, but the campsite that I wanted to stop at was taken, and I had to backtrack to it anyway. I could see it from the rail trail, but it was going to be a good mile and a half extra trip to go and ask them if I could stay there. So I'm pushing on, but I really don't know if there's another site before the end of the trail, and I definitely don't have it in me to go all the way to the end and back. So I'll have to decide. I'll figure something out. I may have to stealth camp. And I did manage to pick up a couple of waters. Some guy was selling on the side of the trail, so that was nice. Drank one already, but I've got kind of a backup emergency one. So we'll see. There's a tunnel up here that I have to bypass because of the bats. And it's a 2-mile walk on the C&O Canal, so I can kind of scope that out. I'm sure I can stealth camp, but I don't have a lot of water for cooking. Just maybe barely enough to cook. So we'll see. It's an adventure. So I'm on the C&O Canal Towpath. It's a 2-mile walk on here because there's a tunnel that cuts through this little hill on the right that is closed due to some endangered bats that they're trying to protect. So I have no idea if I'll find another campground, but I'm gonna have to try. And if not, I'll walk into Little Orleans and see if there's any services there, at least to get some water, and come up with a plan. Back up on Saturday morning, walking east on the C&O, walking west on the C&O Canal Towpath, heading to Little Orleans. I'm not sure how you pronounce it actually. And getting close to the terminus, I think. I'll turn around and finish the rest of it. The connector between the C&O Canal straight ahead of me, and then on the left here is the Western Maryland Rail Trail. They must have built this when they closed the tunnel through the mountain there. I'm gonna walk up, wait till I get to level ground to start riding again. It was closed off. Looks like it must have been closed off a while ago. There's no hint of a path through there. Anyway, the tunnel's not too long, and it adds, I think, 2 miles on to go around it. But it makes for more interesting adventure. Yeah, you can guess what happened here. It was this damn ass rock. And I fell about 8 feet that way. Tore up my pack a little bit. Good thing it's not the most expensive of packs, but it's still annoying. It's the first time I've really taken it on any kind of trip. It's getting torn up. That's the second time I've fallen on it. I got scraped up a little bit. Nothing too bad. But my fingers are freezing. That's the worst part about it. Anyway, it's a pretty part of the trail. This is obviously really new. Well, I recovered from my fall. Now we're, I think, only about a mile from the end. We'll see, maybe 2. This is all pretty new, but there's a lot of debris on the trail. And I'm a little gun shy after falling before. Looks like there's an opportunity for some trail maintenance here. This fell a while ago. There's already some trail forming around it. I don't want to get my feet too wet, so I'm just going to go through it. Ah! Whew! Ah! Well, there's not much fanfare, but I'm pretty certain this is the end of the line. Canal is straight ahead, down a ways. And that's it. That's all she's got. All right. It'd be nice to have a little plaque here or some type of place to mark the spot. All right, headed back. I got an early start, but it is cold. Can't feel my fingers. Maybe that's a good thing after I just fell on them. And gotta navigate this treacherous stretch here, then back to the towpath for another 2-mile walk. Woohoo! There's another one. Gosh darn it. That one's small. How do these little things just kill me? I'm up to 3 for the trip. 2 in about 20 minutes. Yikes. Let's hope it gets better. So I've come to the conclusion, unless you're a hardcore completionist, I would just skip the western end of this trail. I wouldn't bother with the walk on the towpath. 2 miles each way. And then while the pavement here is nice, there are just tons of little rocks on it. And then a bunch of debris and tree down. It's just too treacherous. So after reflecting a little bit, I actually think one should go to the end of the trail. This little C&O towpath section, it's really pretty. And if you don't take a chance to camp on it at another part of the trail, I think this is a good spot to check out. So it kind of adds to the adventure. I was a little down because I fell twice in a row. And I messed up my pack pretty good. But aside from that, yeah, it's pretty down that end. It just was cold and misty, and I was in pain. So I'm back on the trail, the towpath anyway. Got another mile of walk here, and then back up the ramp to the rail trail, and then back to Hancock. It could stand to warm up a little bit. It's a brisk, cold morning. You can see a couple bikers just past me. It's probably around 9 o'clock Saturday morning. Those are the first two people I've seen out and at it. I will mention water is a bit of an issue if you're trying to longboard the rail trail. There are a couple of resourceful people selling water along the route. Just, you know, they have a cooler outside with a little money jar. And I got a couple waters that way. But aside from that, you have to come down to the C&O Towpath, which isn't always right next to the rail trail with a crossover. You know, there are not too many access points. And then once you access it, you have to get to a campground where they have water that's treated with iodine. So it doesn't taste the best, but it's safe to drink. And you can buy it in town in Hancock, but that's really the only town. I just passed mile marker 15 or so. Means I've got 5 to go to get to Hancock in the car. And I had a good morning so far, despite falling a couple times. I made good time. Got 16 miles in today already, and about 4 of that was walking on the C&O Towpath. It was freezing this morning. My hands were really cold, which was a little rough. I need to get a better glove situation. And now I'm sitting in the sun, and it feels fantastic. And I can't say enough good things about this trail. Definitely worth attempting on a longboard. Here we are coming back to the parking lot. I get to finish on a nice little uphill incline, which I fully intend to walk. So that's it. Western Maryland Rail Trail done.